Dear students, in this video I am going to solve the question 4 of tutorial saving because number of students are facing problem in this question. In this question we have to design a IIR filter using indirect method. In the indirect method we have to use analog filter to design the desired digital filter. There are the two types of transformation in the indirect method. One is impulse invariance method and other is a bilinear transformation method. In the given question we have to use impulse invariance method. So first we go through the specification given in the question, that is desired to design a digital filter. In this question we will see that the magnitude response of a digital filter should lie between 0.8 to 1 with the frequency range 0 to 0.2 pi. So what is the meaning of that? The desired filter should have a pass band in the region from 0 to 0.2 pi as a pass band, and between pi to 0.6 pi as a stop band. And the maximum amplitude of the stop band is not 0 ideally. It may be up to 0.2. Okay, I will again redraw it. So this is the stop band region where the amplitude may go up to 0.2 and the pass band region will lie between 1 to 0.8. So when we go through the Butterworth filter specification, in this case we will see that 1 to this particular point, which will be in this case will be equal to 0.8 and this will be equal to 0.2 with the given specification, and omega p in this equation is 0.2 and this will be 0.6 pi. Now because this is the specification of the digital filter that we have to design, so first we will convert the digital frequency in the corresponding analog frequency. We know the relationship between digital and analog frequency as omega is as digital frequency is equal to capital omega t. This relationship we have already studied during sampling. So from this relationship you can find out the corresponding analog passband frequency as well as corresponding analog stop band frequency. Because the sampling time is not given in the question, so whenever the sampling time is not given, you may assume it as sampling time is equal to 1 second. So in this case we have assumed sampling time is equal to 1 second. So the same thing we have applied here and find out the analog passband frequency as well as stop band frequency. This is the first step, and after that you have to find out the value of alpha s. What is alpha s? As you are familiar or as you have gone through the number of equations that I have to provide to solve the order of the filter, and in this case this order of the filter is have this relationship where lambda is 10 0.1 lambda s minus 1 0.5. Now if you are using this particular formula, in this case this alpha s is expressed in dV. So if you want to solve alpha s, if you want to get the value of lambda by using alpha s, so you have to convert the given value onto the dV scale first and find out the corresponding value, and then you will put in this formula to get the value of lambda. Otherwise we can see that 1 upon square root 1 plus lambda square is equal to 0.2 in this particular case, as I have seen here, 1 upon square root 1 plus lambda square is equal to 0.2. So from this relationship you may directly get lambda is equal to 4.8989 in this particular question. From both the method you get the same answer, but in the first approach you have to convert alpha s first onto the dB scale, because this is a dB value. Okay, the next step is the step 3, that similarly we have to find out the value of epsilon that have a relationship like epsilon is equal to 10, 0.1 alpha p minus 1 raised to the power 1 by 2. Okay, so alpha here you will get after solving this is 0.75. Now after getting lambda and epsilon, you already know or you have already find out the omega s and omega p. You can calculate the order of the filter. So order of the filter after solving you will get in this question is 1.71. So because this is not an integer value, so we take the nearest highest integer, that will be 2. So the order of the filter will be 2 in this case. Now when you get the idea about the order of the filter, you use the table that will be provided also in the examination, as it is that these are the order of the filter and these are the denominator polynomial corresponding to that order of the filter for Butterworth normalized response. So HS is a normalized response of the Butterworth filter and is expressed as 1 upon ds. ds is a denominator polynomial, so because we get the order of the filter is 2, so the denominator polynomial from this case will be s square plus square root 2s plus 1. Now this hs will be equal to 1 upon this. Now after that, because this is a normalized response, so first we have to calculate the actual response. In order to find out the actual response, you should know what will be the cutoff frequency. So I have already sent you in the notes how to find out the cutoff frequency, but this is again some numerical procedure I have gone through again, because magnitude response have two formula. When you equate these two formula, you will get the certain type of relationship between the different parameters, and from this you may calculate the cutoff frequency. Now the cutoff frequency is 0.725. In order to get the actual response, you have to substitute, because you are going to design a low pass filter as in the specification given. You have to design a low pass filter, because it is not directly mentioned, but you will see for the low frequency range the amplitude response is high, and in the high frequency range amplitude response is low. So means we have to design a low pass filter. So in the case of low pass filter designing, you have to substitute s by s upon 0.725. But if you have to design the high pass filter, so in that case you have to put s upon omega c divided by s. So means according to the filter you have to substitute the value, but normally most of the designing is based on low pass filter, so we will frequently use s by replacing s upon omega c. So now the actual or the desired response will be in this form. After solving we will get this particular equation. Now as in the case of impulse invariant method, we will go through the derivation of the formula, and I have already sent you in the notes is that this is a derivation where finally you have to get the response in the form of is individual poles terms. Means these are the roots of the equation, and this is the root of the equation, and the overall sum of such type of terms. So now we have to convert the desired response in this form. Means we have to take the partial fraction expansion because the denominator is a second order equation. So this particular have two roots, which is a complex conjugate roots. So as we have seen here, so the partial fraction expansion will have some numerical value in the numerator, that will be the complex conjugate. So as per this, we will find out the value of the numerator, and these will be the two values. I have solved all these things here for you. And now this HS is a desired form, as we have seen in this particular equation. Now what you have to do, when you get this particular form, you can directly transform by replacing CK here, PK in the root of e raised to power PK, T Z inverse. So T as 1 second already we have assumed in this case. So the desired transformation will be this form. Okay, so in this case, this is the root. We have expressed it. T is 1 second and Z inverse is already in the formula. So this is the final answer, or the designed filter or designed digital filter using the given specification. Thank you.